Zoink's rivalry with a cheater, and they're talking about Spaceuk, by the way, the most infamous geometry dash cheater of all time, who Zoink competed with. But let me watch the video because they'll explain it better than me.
I know it's been like a year, but it's still insane to me that we thought it was untouchable. And
I totally spoiled it. They censored it. I already know what it is. I just said it. Whatever.
Not even legit, but we have maybe 3 to 5 players now who are way better than he was as a hacker, and he completely hails in comparison to Zoink.
I'm willing to say this is the biggest hacking scandal in all of GD history. Definitely the most shocking, and it's wild to see players still trying to pull this in 2023.
It's been 3 years since Zoink was officially far ahead of everybody else on the demon list. However, his beginnings were way different than most.
Bro, Egg Wars. Yeah, did y'all know before Zoink was the top 1 Geometry Dash player, he used to grind this like weird Minecraft server game called Egg Wars? I don't know either, but that's what Zoink did. This was the origins of Zoink. This man is good at everything he does though. He's good at Egg Wars, Geometry Dash is the best player. He's good at bowling. He's good at Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, this dude is just good at everything, bro.
And his upcoming was nothing less than impressive. Zoink's career began around 5 years ago, but with his only accomplishment being Bloodbath, a demon that is now
his only accomplishment was Bloodbath. Oh, so sad.
Signed by tons of other levels, he would face many challenges due to his lack of skill, since the top levels were way more difficult than his best feat. But after grinding out a few other levels, Zoink soon found out that he was just fooling around, and realized that he had to take a massive jump in skill if he wanted to achieve his goal. While most players get better by progressively taking on slightly harder and harder maps, Zoink ignored the difficulty ladder and went ahead.
Yeah, this dude is like the OG jumper, bro. He would just jump. They're gonna go over it, but like he had the most unnatural skill progression like of any top player ever, bro.
Defeat a level way harder than Bloodbath. A few months into 2021, Zoink decided to take down Zodiac, a level that was added as #1 on the demon list.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he jumped from Bloodbath to Zodiac, if I remember correctly.
2019, and managed to stay in the top 10 for over 3 years. Zoink's jump from Bloodbath to Zodiac was massive, and shocked the community when he finally beat it.
Yeah, like Zodiac is a lot harder than Bloodbath.
After 40,000 attempts in October of 2021.
I did it! I did it! Oh my god! I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it!
Yo, wait, go back to his old icons though. Hold up. Look at that. Look at his icon. You saw that?
I did it! Oh my god! I did it! 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 Oh my god, I did it! I did it! I did it! I beat Zodiac!
I remember when I first saw this guy practicing Zodiac. I thought he was joking considering he just beat Bloodbath. Can't believe he actually beat a top 5.
Sometimes delusion is powerful.
GG, bro. However, 2 months later, Zoink's at the time biggest rival Spaceuk verified Slaughterhouse, which became #1 on the demon list. So the unnerfed and fixed Slaughterhouse now won Spaceuk the verification race. Amazing job to him. Many people suspect whether or not he's legit, but I'm sure to say Space is legit. He just verified it in 41,000.
I could talk all day about this, but it's still just insane how Spaceuk was able to get away with so much. Like, that was the craziest exposal probably, like, ever in Geometry Dash. Like, crazier than Cyclic, I would say.
1,802 attempts. Wow. And just like Zoink, Spaceuk also became viral for doing crazy jumps in difficulty, as he jumped from a top 75 level to Slaughterhouse, something that was completely absurd and unheard of. And even
what? Nobody suspected him?
Verified it with no reaction.
I can't fucking react, otherwise I'm gonna cough so much.
So fake!
Oh my god.
I don't know why, but just the fact that he's so cracked at the game makes me not like him. Soon after,
nah, that dude's just hating for the love of the game, bro.
Spaceuk was considered one of the best players in the world, with some players believing that he was already the best, since Slaughterhouse was so outlandish and hard. But with such few achievements, he couldn't claim that #1 spot yet, and as every one of the top players was pushing each other to defeat the demon list and get better, Spaceuk was progressing way faster than everyone else. Spaceuk is definitely the best player, but we should probably award the people who actively play the game. The dude literally quit and only comes back every once in a while. However, Zoink was getting better as well, as he decided to chase Space's achievement of beating the, at the time, hardest level. And in January of 2022, he would only focus on this project. But during that time, Sakupen Circles was verified and placed above Slaughterhouse.
Dude, I forgot that Sakupen Circles was above Slaughterhouse. Which one's the highest now? Hold on, I want to actually go check that. Because I think, like, especially when, like, 2.2 came out, like, that changed a lot of, opinions, because some things became easier or harder. So we got, Sakupen Circles at 28 and Slaughterhouse at 23. Okay, yeah. Slaughterhouse is top 1 again. Well, dude, wait, actually, that's crazy. Slaughterhouse at number 23. What the heck? And, of course, Zoink would be the first victor. Well, it was Doggy. Doggy was the first victor, but then Spaceuk was a hacker, which made Doggy the verified Starfire by default, so the second Victor Zoink ended up becoming the first Victor. Pretty confusing history when hackers get involved with things.
Slaughterhouse, losing its #1 spot, while also making Zoink lose his motivation to pursue this level at the moment. However, after 4 months of beating other demons on the top 75 list, Zoink continued working on Slaughterhouse and ended up completing it while even having Space UK in the chat on April 12th of 2022.
That's crazy. Hold on, let me switch. Look, Space UK was in the chat, bro. I think one of the craziest parts of the Space UK story is that literally somebody came to his house and watched him play like Geometry Dash in front of him, and Space UK was playing and doing good. So like at that point, everybody was like, okay, well, if Space UK was really a hacker, how would he be playing in front of people and doing good? So that's why everybody just assumed like, oh, he's obviously isn't the clear. Is a hacker gonna have people come to his house and hack in front of them and not like fold or they notice something's up? Like, dude, it's just crazy that he was actually good at the game, but he just like did it for no reason, bro. Weird.
Yes, 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 yes.
Bro, Space UK in the chat is so funny, bro.
Progress in this game over the last few months has been awesome to see. You went from having Bloodbath as your hardest to Slaughterhouse. You love to see it. However, while Zoink's progress was impressive, Space had some remarkable feats as well, because during that same year, he beat the entire demon list of 75 levels, while also
like 75 levels, and not one person noticed, bro.
Dedicating the least amount of time on the game. From that point on, there was only one person who could take down this titan, and with a level that nobody ever beat before, this was Zoink's chance to finally go head to head against Space UK.
Bro, Acheron is such a cool level. It grew on me a lot. Like, I used to not be like the biggest fan of Acheron. I was like, oh, it's just Tartarus. But like now I see the aura. Acheron's cool. I like Acheron.
21. However, nobody was able to verify it because of its excruciating gameplay. And with one Alpha Helix holding the 67% record, many players felt discouraged to try. However, Zoink not only picked it up, but buffed the level and made it way harder than the original, while saying that he only buffed it for fun. But with many hours of grinding on his own version and with a 91% record, Zoink was way ahead of everyone.
Cutting it close there, Zoink.
Else. However, a 96% run completely shattered his mental health, and he decided not to push through. And even though he was ahead of everyone and only needed a few more sessions, Zoink decided to shift his focus towards other demons, all while Space was still grinding on Acheron. The rest of the levels on the demon list required him very few attempts, and felt like a breeze compared to Zoink's enhanced version of Acheron, which made him significantly better at the game. And after his relaxing break from Acheron, Zoink jumped right back.
Yo, why did Space UK not join this race though? Space UK could have easily like gotten away with hacking the verification of Acheron. I'm surprised he didn't, because he didn't get exposed at this point.
Onto it to finally win the verification race, and after he did, Acheron became the top 1 level on the demon list.
I did find Acheron!
This is actually insane. I'm not even really surprised, but I'm mostly happy. Such a great level to take the #1 spot. At this point, after clearing out one of the hardest levels ever created, Zoink was only a few points behind Space UK based on the demon list score, and was closer than ever to becoming the #1 player in Geometry Dash. Easily the
fact that Zoink was keeping up with the game's most notorious hacker, who hacked every completion he did pretty much, is crazy. Like, Zoink is just built different, bro. And now nobody can compete with him, not even hackers.
Fastest improving player besides Space UK, congratulations. But despite all of Zoink's hard work, Space won the Best Player of 2022 award, even though some players argue that he didn't deserve it since he didn't play as much as the others. However, many other players thought that this was the exact reason why he won, since the game was too easy for him. He also beats levels faster than Zoink. Space could easily do everything Zoink can. Zoink is the best non-Space UK player. However, in January of 2023, Zoink gathered more points than Space after beating a level named XO, and finally became the #1 player.
Dang, bro, XO was on the list back then? Bro, now XO is on, like, I don't even know, bro. Lower than that.
In Geometry Dash.
Yo, hold up. I gotta say something real quick. Something that I find funny. Zoink is from Kansas. Have y'all ever heard of a single thing from Kansas? I think Kansas alone is actually, like, being carried by the fact that Zoink is born and lives there. Like, if Zoink didn't live here, I couldn't tell you a single thing about Kansas. Nothing. And I'm sorry if there's anybody watching this who lives in Kansas. Hold on. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right now. Hey, Siri, what happens in Kansas? Kansas is known for its stormy weather, winds, tornadoes, and blizzards. Sounds like a great place I would absolutely want to live. W Kansas, chat. W Kansas. I'd rather go to Arkansas.
#1 player in Geometry Dash.
XO! I want to beat this level.
No way.
Why is blood not reacting?
But despite his grind towards the top coming to an end, the public's attention shifted towards something
Kansas is a Black Blizzard reference, yeah.
else.
Yep.
Since during that time, SpaceUK's achievements were suddenly removed from Pointer Crate's website, which had many players questioning why. And after a lot of confusion from the public, one of the moderators of the demon list named Paco uploaded a video titled,
Dude, waking up in the morning and this video was on YouTube exposing Spaceuk, I was like, what? You know what I did though? As soon as I saw that, I literally hustled like I never have before. If you go to my channel, bro, this happened on April 25th, 2023. Look at what I posted literally the next day. Where is it? It's this video, the rise and fall of Spaceuk. By the way, any other Geometry Dash YouTubers, you guys should react to this, but I can't react to my own video. But bro, this video, April 26, 2023, I made an 8-minute long, fully edited video explaining the rise of Spaceuk and then his fall, bro. Bro, wait, yo, whoa, what is Zoink talking about? Are we gonna talk about this? So crazy, can't wait till I have my own video made on my downfall. Zoink, what do you mean by that? Is he confessing to hacking? I never even saw this comment. I didn't even have a hearted. Yo, wait, did Zoink just confess on my comments 2 years ago and we're just seeing it now? This might be the biggest news ever. This might be a hacker versus hacker situation. But yeah, I locked in all day, bro. I made this fully edited video, bro. Bro, Penguin Zero, aka Moist Critical, aka Charlie, bro. He reacted to this video on stream while I was at a sushi restaurant and I was like, what? I'm pretty much just famous. And like, yeah, that was a cool moment. Anyways, guys, back to our reaction. Am I just off topic or what?
exposing Spaceuk on April 25th of 2023. In the video,
yeah,
Paco
literally one day, did all my research, did all my editing, got a thumbnail made in one day.
Showed evidence that Space cheated by including many clips where Space has click delay on tons of different levels, which is when the click sound doesn't match the gameplay.
I'll just never understand how nobody noticed this sooner. Well, one guy did and he was ignored. Oh my god, what a crazy story. You could like convert this to like historical figures and make a movie out of it and it'd be like very, oh my gosh, imagine a movie where it's like two gladiators. He has like a magic battle axe and the other guy doesn't, but the guy without the magic battle axe is like keeping up with him and fighting. Hold up. Movie idea, I'm copywriting that. Everybody clear your ears. I need to copyright that, and then we can talk more.
And is either too early or too late. The first level where Paco pointed out click delays was the top 15 level named the Hallucination, where in some attempts Space makes multiple mistakes, so with a careful listen, it's clear what's going on.
Unbelievable, bro.
And not only that, as a few moments later, Paco spotted another click that was out of place, that sounded completely different from the rest, which was most likely Space turning on a macro.
Did you hear that? Listen. See,
Paco's
when he goes to the ramp, he does an extra click. Like, how did nobody notice this? Another huge red flag about Spaceuk was, bro never streamed. And the only time he did stream, he made some excuse like, oh, my mic wasn't working, so I didn't get my clicks recorded. Like, he literally, like, oh my gosh, how did nobody expose Spaceuk sooner? How did he get away with all this, bro?
Speculation makes a lot of sense. Since after the strange sound, some of Space's clicks were considerably more frames off than previously. But that same day, Spaceuk posted this on his Twitter. Every main list after my Sephiroth main list completion on May 8th of 2022 was hacked. I lost interest in actually playing the game and wanted to see how long I could go without being caught. Hacked completions include Aerial Gleam, Oblivion, Abyss of Darkness, The Hallucination, Kyoki, oh, I forgot Acheron too. And
yeah, like notice how like he waits for a whole separate suite to make the biggest news, which is he hacked the top one. Like how convenient. Like the way he tried to like hide, and then he also changed all the titles of his completions on YouTube too. Like for example, if it was The Hallucination 100% complete, he would change it to The Hallucination Showcase. Like he tried so hard to like kind of like get away with it, bro, but we did not have that stuff, bro. And he deleted his YouTube channel as he should have.
For admitting to have cheated on almost every one of his completions in the past year, his reputation took a massive hit, especially after supposedly forgetting that he hacked the hardest level in the game. However, while these news canceled tons of his achievements, they didn't discard the fact that Space was still one of the best players, since he was in fact Slaughterhouse's verifier. Or wasn't he? The final blow would be delivered.
Yeah. And notice how he left out Slaughterhouse too. Like he was, I hacked all this stuff, but not Slaughterhouse. My prize completion, that one wasn't hacked. Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. Zoink wouldn't have done that. My goat Zoink wouldn't have hacked Slaughterhouse. No, no, no.
Only a day later, when the mods came to the conclusion that Space's completions were all fake, every single level he had ever uploaded was hacked. Space's method was to memorize every click of a level, record a macro that was enabled by a predetermined keybind, and then record himself clicking over the macro inputs while it completes the level for him. And while that
Like, it's such a basic hacking strategy too. Like, I will never understand how we got away with this. Never.
method sounds very easy to get fooled by it, the mods cracked the code after paying attention to the end screen of every single level that he ever played, rather than focusing on his input delays. Zbot's developers made it so that the end screen text that says level complete is 64 pixels smaller if it was ever activated throughout the level, and it turned out that this was the only mistake that Space couldn't avoid. And while that hint from Zbot's developers sounds very easy to detect, the Demonless moderators didn't really investigate any of Space's record submissions. Because of his status as the #1 player, as they probably thought that there was no way that the best player in the game was cheating, Space had carefully constructed his gameplay and personality, and was friends with most of the top players, making him even more credible, as he appeared—
Like, you gotta be like a straight up sociopath, bro. Like, not even was he just hacking levels, he was also like friends with all the other top players, like literally backstabbing his friends, like Zoink and all these different type of people, and like uploading videos and like stealing money and verifications for people. Like, I still feel like people were a little too quick to forgive Spaceuk, bro. Like, this dude's actually kind of a psychopath. Like, like hacking is one thing, but also like putting on the whole social facade of like this friendly guy who's friends with everybody, and you have people over to your house watching you play, like, oh, he's legit. Like, that's not just like a hacker, that is a sociopath, bro.
He appeared to the community and pros as a genuine and chill guy.
It wasn't about how he was playing, it was about how he treated the game, how he was so nice in the community, how he was so genuine, it seemed like. That everyone kind of blindly believed him off of that and didn't really assume he was hacking at any point.
And not only that, as during the time in which he rose to fame, cheat detection wasn't as advanced as it is now, and everyone back then thought that if he was indeed cheating, he would have been caught way earlier. However, with all this drama swirling, many players found out about a video made by Colo
Yeah, this is crazy.
in 2021, who accused Space of verify hacking Slaughterhouse after analyzing the audio footage of Space's video and the song.
There, the kick starts before than on the original audio, so it's shifted. And as you can see, there is some strange click here. So I think it's cut.
At that time, many players—
Bro. So Spaceuk got exposed in 2023. This guy in 2021 was calling him out. And just wait until you see what the official Demon List account said to him when he tried to bring it to their attention. They're gonna bring it up.
were arguing about that video's legitimacy, but 2 years later, Colo would turn out to actually be correct, even though most people were bashing him. I know it was weird that someone who was only playing for 2 years immediately became the best player. It wouldn't be a reach to call this growth inhumane. But after going undetected for so long, Space did not only betray the community who welcomed him with open arms, but also stole so much attention and success from other players who truly deserved it.
I respected this man so much.
Is he not gonna show it? Hold on, I gotta show it then if he's not gonna show it. This is like a crazy little lore tidbit. Let me look up. But there's like a picture of like somebody messaging the Demon List people, and they're like, no. Yeah, okay, I found it. Yeah, this screenshot is absolutely crazy. So Colo, the guy that was just mentioned in the video, who made that exposal 2 years ahead of time, he said the Slaughterhouse is hacked, and it's hacked. He sends his video to the Demon List account. And do you know what the Demon List account says back to him? And this guy was 2 years ahead, and he was right, by the way. They say, you are wrong, with a thumbs up emoji, bro. They literally just denied it. They probably didn't even look into it. Like, unbelievable. Like, Spaceuk literally got the luckiest run of all time, bro. Like, he got exposed, and people just didn't even believe it. Like, people just refused to believe it because he's a friendly guy. Like, actually, I just can't even believe that. That's one of the craziest bits of lore. I'm surprised he didn't say that in the video.
And I like this guy. He was such a chill guy, and now I have to, like, you know, deal with him being a cheater.
One of the players who was heavily affected by Space's actions was Doggy, since he was robbed of so many achievements, such as the verification of Slaughterhouse and the first victor of Acheron. Since after Space was exposed, Doggy claimed all of those records, even though it didn't feel nearly as satisfying.
But I feel like the first emotion before being disappointed was kind of a positive emotion, because I was like, I was the first victor of Acheron, and all that effort didn't go to, you know, waste. But in the end, I was kind of disappointed in this man.
And after stealing records, crushing dreams, and betraying his fanbase's trust, it was proven that in the end, Zoink was fighting and even surpassed a cheater. However, this didn't bring more attention to his name, since most players were speculating that he was probably cheating as well. The fact that Zoink beat a hacker without even knowing in the start of his run is amazing. From that point on, Zoink kept grinding, even though he was so far ahead of everyone else, and fast forward to 2026, he's now the verifier of the hardest levels in the game, and has become the face of Geometry Dash, with over 800,000 subscribers on YouTube.
See what being legit does? If Spaceuk would have just chosen the route of legitimacy, he could have been on his way to 1 million subscribers and been beloved by the community.
And not only that, as Zoink even collaborated with Jinxie, bringing even more attention to his name and towards the game, as the player base has almost tripled since October of 2025.
Yeah, yo, W video, bro, by EtherGD. I'm subscribing to EtherGD. Y'all should go subscribe to EtherGD too. This is the first video I'm seeing by him. Apparently, he's made a couple of videos. So yeah, shout out to EtherGD, new YouTuber. But yeah, I honestly, bro, I will just never understand how this dude did not get caught sooner. And the fact that he did get caught sooner, but they just didn't do anything about it. It's honestly just crazy. I could talk more about it, but honestly, I feel like people have talked enough about it. So yeah, peace out, Vortrox 2 viewers. Goodbye.